Hey guys, my name is Eager Nemo, and today we are playing Cities Skylines. So if you haven't played Cities Skylines, you're missing out, man. It's old. First of all, it's like a few years old, isn't it? So get on top of it. So for a little backstory, when I think it was 1999 or 2000, I was like in elementary school, right? They had a book fair, and in the book fair, they had a table with computer games, which was crazy for back then because it wasn't like Steam where you could just download a game and be done with it in like a day. You had to go buy the disc, go home, install it onto your computer. And when I was little, I didn't have a gaming computer, so whatever my parents had in their office, hopefully was going to run my game, right? So I bought SimCity 2000, and I remember that was crazy. It was so fun, and that's kind of where I got hooked with these types of games. So if you haven't been watching the channel, or you haven't got a chance to, it basically focuses on strategy games, colony management games, city building games, base building, whatever you want to call it. That's the genres that this channel focuses on. So this isn't going to be shooters or anything like that. This is more of kind of games that involve a little bit of like planning, I guess. So if you like stuff like that and you end up liking this video, go ahead and subscribe and like the video. And then if you want to, be notified every time a new video pops up, go ahead and hit that little notification bell button at the bottom there. So for today, we're going to start a new game, and we are going to play on. I do like maps with kind of like a beach, so maybe Lagoon Shore, Diamond Coast. So for this game, what we're looking at here are the different types of resources, right? And this bar right here signifies how much of that resource is available on the map. This is the water resource, shows you how much water is throughout your map. And then here is the types of outside connections. So this would be like a highway, and then you have the train, right? And then you have waterways, and then you have plane connections. So as we go through, see, these are all going to change. So depending on the way you want to play, let's say you want to make a I don't know, a logging type city, then you would play with something with high tree content. Or maybe you want to make something that requires, large oil refineries or something. You would pick something with a lot of oil. See how this one does not have any oil? Well, you wouldn't pick that one then. So I think the beach one would be cool. So this Diamond Coast will be pretty cool. So let's start with that. And we will start there. So when you first start out, it's going to give you a little hello message, and it says, let's start by building some roads and zoning the areas next to them. Buildings will spawn on the zoned areas, and you will unlock new city services and buildings as your city grows. For help, click on the questions mark above. This guy, right, I don't know where the fuck it is, right here. And it'll provide you with information regarding the menu you have open. All right, so first, it's only going to provide you with a two-way street. So a little thing I do, and this is where the entrance highway is. So there's your exits, and they're coming into your plot. You can only build within this plot to start. You can purchase plots next to it as you go on, right? But I think there's a limited amount in the vanilla version of the game that you can kind of purchase, right? So when you first start, you're going to get two-way roads, and it's only going to let you build them. It's kind of like a mini tutorial. So what you can do is actually build one, go back, delete it, and then build whatever you want. So what I like to do is kind of get like a starter, right? So it's kind of like an in and an out. We can do this. So let's do this. Let's make something cool. So we're going to go to the right. I don't want to do this. Maybe I will use double streets. This is kind of going to mess up traffic, but we'll go to the right one. We'll go to the left one. We'll come up here, 3. Right? And this should match. There we go. And that'll be our original square. Now what we'll do off the top of it is pretty sweet. So here are your types of basically the way you can lay out roads. So they have curved road, they have a free form where you can kind of move it wherever you want. This is to upgrade the road, so eventually you can get more lanes or trees, medians with trees on them, things like that. This is your elevation step, and this is a straight road. So what we're going to do is pick curved road. And we're also going to pause this really quick. Okay. So for a curved road, really what you do, this first step when you choose it, you're going to choose how far it goes up. And then the next step, you're going to choose how far it goes to the left or right. So what we'll do is we'll choose 2, and then we'll choose 1. Actually, we'll choose to the middle. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll do the same thing on this side, choose 2, and then choose to this middle point. And that'll kind of be the rounding of the road. But in there, what we'll do we have traffic circles available? We do. Shoot. It's pretty big, huh? I didn't think it was going to be that big. That's what I wanted to do, something like that. Damn. Um, okay, so it's really just a one-way. That's fine. We can build that on our own. What's this? All right. Anyway, so we'll hit the center square, and we will build kind of. All right. We got this. We got this, guys. All right. So we'll build 1, 2, 2 in, and then off of that, it's going to be a little uneven, I think, but it'll do. We'll build 1 over. We'll build 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. And then maybe the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like a mini traffic circle. I don't know if I like that. But what we can do from there is they can enter and exit the traffic circle. So you would enter here and you could, we're gonna need a shoot. So this would have to be like this. This would have to be like so. This would have to be like so. And then we're gonna delete this one out actually. And we can connect that with this guy. It's not really in the middle, but we'll deal. And that'll kind of be a traffic circle. Hopefully that can alleviate some traffic, and that'd be kind of cool where, I mean, it just looks sweet, right? So to start out, we have 3 things, right? So we have our low-density residential zones, and this is where they will build houses. We have our low-density commercial zones, stores, gas stations, whatever. And this is the industrial zone. That's where jobs will be held, right? So that's like factories, different types of places that are making things, and jobs can also be held in the commercial zones. So to start off, it's going to tell you how much you need of each, right? So these are kind of the demands for each thing. So it's saying, oh, there's no demand for industry or offices, but there is a huge demand for residential, and that's because we have nobody living here yet. But before we build that, we do need a few things. So first we'll just plant some residential zones. We'll have this inner circle being residential zone. That's pretty cool, right? So the inner square. But for order, for house to work, you need a few things, including water, a sewage line, whatever. So something good to look at when you plant your first thing, which is the water pumping station. This is where water is going to get pumped to all of your houses, is to go through and kind of put it. This is the flow of the water, right? So you're going to place that somewhere where it's flowing away from it, because you're also going to need to place a water drain pipe, and it's just draining all your shit out into the ocean. Not exactly the best way to do it, but that's the way we're going to do it. And these are actually connected together, and then once we run this water pipe, where we can run from here, we're going to need to have the water pipe cover. So that blue kind of zone around the water pipe, that's going to cover the area of where everything is built, because everything in this game needs some type of water connection, right? Just like a building, it's all the same thing. So what I like to do is kind of, form it so it covers everything. And you don't want to spend all of your money, so try to get it to lapse over each other pretty close, right? So now that's fine with water, but for everything else, you need electricity, right? So how are we going to get electricity? That's basically by putting windmills, right? So you have windmills, you have coal power plants, everything in here is all electricity in this menu. To begin with, windmills are kind of the best option to go with. The darker the blue the area, the more wind there is. Usually, it's on the coast would be the best point to put it, because you're not really building anything right here, so you can kind of snag these away and build 2 or so. We can start from there. So this is connected. So when we're looking at electricity, the blue outline is going to show you what has electricity and what's connected and what needs electricity. So this needs electricity because there's blue, but it's not connected to the windmills. So how do we connect it? We're going to need to use the power line. So all you're going to do is drag the power line here, and once the game restarts, it'll be fine. And that's also the same for building. So this is our residential zone, right? That's going to end up being, you're going to need the power line there. However, you don't need a power line to each section, because as long as it's connected to each other, the power will get transferred. So in other terms, if I drag this over and I land it right here, and this is all houses, they're all built, I don't need another power line going to here because they're all going to be connected. So we'll let that play through really quick. And once they start building houses, I can see. So I'm going to build the first power line there. So we will move this to here, drop it there, and then we can drag this to this power line. That's going to connect power to them, and they'll eventually start growing there. So as you can see, once you have residential people, right, they're going to need places to shop, so commercial zones. They're going to need places to work, which are both commercial and the industry zones, and that's what we're going to build. However, there's a thing called sound pollution, which I think we can look up right here. I don't know if we can click it yet, technically. But these are all your menus of where you can see things, such as traffic congestion, right? Hit this. The red would be traffic congestion, but we're not really that large yet, so there is no traffic. This is wind. This is traffic routes, and you can show where different things are going. Eventually, you can select where certain cars can go. It's just all of this stuff. So we're really in need of commercial and residential, and you know, people need jobs. So this is kind of cool because we can put all of our commercial zones out in this area. So we'll use the paint tool, kind of flap them all around the edge, and that'll be our commercial zone. However, we don't want industry being too close to our residential zone, and we don't want commercial zone being too close to our residential zone because there is noise pollution. The louder it is, the worse it is for people. So what we'll do is go away from this zone here. Should we go up here? So to think ahead, basically, semi-trucks are going to come off here and go to our industrial zone. So do you want them driving through your neighborhood, making traffic, or do you want them to kind of, be able to drive somewhere else? So we'll kind of have it start here, and we'll have a two-way road going this way, and we'll have our commercial zone all the way out here. That's kind of where we'll start it. We will make that one-way road to avoid kind of a weird traffic scheme, and we'll have it go here, and then bounce down, and then a two-way road in the middle, which would be right here, and then a two-way road through here. And now we can make that our industrial zone. So I'm going to use the paint tool and just paint two of these for now. Remember, we do need electricity. So now that this is connected, we don't have to go straight from this line, right? We can take that from here and drop it, probably right here is going to be fine, depending on where they build. And then also the water, we're going to need more water. So we'll draw a line down this road to cover all the places up here, and then also right kind of here. So now it's covered. So now they have an industrial zone, which is making jobs for the people. They're working in factories or whatnot. As you progress as a city, your people become more educated because you're building schools or colleges or whatever, and you can build high-tech industry zones or something that is different from just working at a factory. That will make your city better, less pollution, less noise, things like that. It comes with time. It's not like instant. So we can have this. So the one thing we can have is, industry, people are going to drive in for work, and people are also going to drive in as delivery. So you have large semi-trucks, like I mentioned, driving in, and then they have to go out. So what we can do is actually have a way out to the highway that's a one-way, and that'll reduce some of the traffic on this road from those semi-trucks coming in and out. So we can make that here, right? And we can have that come here and then just come out here, right? So this is going to enter the highway, and they're just leaving. So that way there's not a huge mess of people. And this square is going like this. So here's all the semi-trucks that I'm mentioning. They're all coming to park and do their whatever is working there. And now, hopefully when they leave, they take, or not, they just fucking go that way, I guess. Where are they going? Oh, okay, so they're delivering it to the the commercial zone, because this makes the products, this sells the products. We do need more residential zone now because there are a lot more jobs. So we'll plant this one here, and then we'll also get this dragging marker tool thing and plop it up here. and that should be good. So basically, you're going to keep doing that. This is what makes you money. You're creating products, and this also too, right? So you're selling them. But as you go through, your money should rise. If you get negative, it's going to be pretty tough to come out of. Oh, what? You named it San Palma? I didn't even want to name it that. Can I change that? Huh. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. I was wondering if I should make this the in and this the out, but then they're going to have to go through and literally drive on the highway, come back around to get to here. It's fine for now. So as we keep going, these are going to change all the time. So it's still saying we need a lot more residential zone, which is fine. We can actually just build that in here. This was my plan anyway. So we'll kind of paint this residential zone that way. It's kind of like a little town where you have all the people and then you have stores right next to each other. It's not like separated sections of store people. Eventually we can draw a line through here, a road, and we can fill this spot up with residential too. Now, a little thing, there is value, land value, or you know, people who are rich, or let's see if that's even available yet to look at. Land value, I can't look at it yet, but basically you can build parks, or you can build trees, or whatever, monuments, and then you can use those to increase land value, and then richer people, people with more, you know, more wealthier people will build there. So I just unlocked a little hamlet. I had to get 500, population of 500, and it does a few things. It gives you the right to kind of make your own taxes. You can take out loans. It does give you a garbage thing, which is great because garbage does collect. You need to collect it. It gives you a healthcare option, an education option, and then it shows you the buildings you can build. So you can finally build a medical clinic, an elementary school, and a landfill site. So the first thing we'll do is build a landfill site. I like to keep that away from residential. So what we can do, and as you put this on a road, it'll show you where it can collect from. So the greener the spot, the darker the green, the more ease it has to kind of get there. So we'll put that here. It's far enough away from there and it can collect all the garbage. When you're building something like a hospital, a clinic, right, it's the same thing. So it's going to be wherever, if I put it here, it's going to cover this whole little town, right? I do want to put that in a central location, so I think I'm going to draw a road right down the middle. It's going to delete some houses, so they're going to freak out about it, but it's okay. It's not going to go right in the middle. But we'll do this. All right, so we'll have it go like this. We'll have it break off this way, and then we'll have it break off this way. And then all of our big things can go right here. So we'll have the clinic right in the middle, and then we can have the elementary school right next to the clinic, right? So, or we'll have the elementary school on this side, and then we can build the high school on this side once we get it. So these do cost money. They're going to drain the amount of money you make per whatever, per month or year, whatever it is. But now we have a landfill site that's collecting garbage. Eventually you can get something that, I don't know what it is, you can delete the garbage, you know, right, you're burning it or whatever it is. So there is some traffic here. It's not really that bad. Health is fine because we have a clinic there. Education, these people can get educated. Children need elementary schools. So we have a capacity of 300 children that can fit in this elementary school when we click on this end menu, right? But there's only 126 eligible. So once you start building, don't think you can have one elementary school for the entire map, right? It's not going to stretch out. So you're kind of building neighborhoods, just like in your neighborhood, you know, where you live. Maybe there was 5 elementary schools and 1 large high school. It kind of works the same way. So once you have colleges or high schools, they do spread out and are able to accept more kids, but elementary schools and whatever are less, and you're going to need multiple for whatever you're doing. So as you can see now, we don't really need much, but that's kind of where we can choose to go in any direction we want, right? We can go here, we can go there, we can do whatever we want. So what we'll do, since we've built this little spot, is we'll break off and build an additional, I guess, like borough or whatever we want to call it. So what we can do is just pop off to the side here. So that's done, and then do we go straight off the top, you think? Yeah, let's go straight off the top. And we'll leave room to expand. So we'll do like a, I don't want a 90, I don't want a 180. I don't know, maybe like 135. We'll just put it right down the middle. And we'll have, we'll make it one, yeah, let's just do that. And that way we can break off the same angle and do like that. And then we'll have one village over here, something over here, and we'll keep building around the map. You do have to watch your electricity. So up here is electricity available. Once you get in the yellow, stuff will start browning out. Once you get in the black, you'll have blackout. And the same thing with water. Water is usually pretty easy once you have one pumping station for the most part. You will expand eventually, but you don't need to right now. So a building is leveled up. If you provide good services and education and have a high land value, the zone buildings in your city can be improved to higher level buildings. Higher level buildings pay more taxes and house more people or offer more jobs. Pollution is reduced in higher level industry, just like I was speaking about before about how high tech companies can reduce pollution. So we'll have this go out to here. We'll have it go out 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, and we'll have this go out. And then we can build off of this. So let's build a cool like circle. We'll make it one way. We'll make it a curved. And we'll build a cool like circle type city. So 1, 2, 3. One. Well, 1, 2, 3. Same thing up here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then finally 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I did delete that. I'm gonna have to rebuild that because now the power's off everywhere. So finally go from here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's our circle little city here, but we do need to reconnect the power, so we got separated from each one. We'll just pass that over. Figure it out from there. There we go. Same thing with this. And that should redo the power. So remember, we need water, so we're gonna have to do the same thing. So we're gonna build up like this, build over to here, build like this. Not enough money. All right, because I'm not playing the game fast enough. We could build residential zones, whatever, through here. Let's build one more industry. We'll pop over here. We're running out of power. That's what we're doing. So we need more power. It's in the red. It's redding out, but we don't have enough money. Let's take out a loan, shall we? No, we're good. 6,000. Yeah, let's just take out a loan to get this going. 20,000, whatever, take it. We can build electricity. Now, windmills are clean, right? So when you build windmills for electricity, they're causing less pollution. If I were to build a coal plant, it would provide a lot more electricity, but it would be a lot more pollution. If you have that anywhere near your citizens, they're going to get pretty pissed off. So it's always good to kind of keep that. Oh, you know what? I have this going like forward. That's not a good one, huh? Maybe I can bounce it like this. It's kind of cool, right? Oh shit! There we go. All right. Go like that. I'll plop this here, and then I'll be able to bring it right back to the beginning. I don't want curves. Damn it. Switch back to straight. Go here. Go like this. So what the problem we ran into here is because I had 2 one-ways. I thought I was making one whole circle, but really it's that. So what we'll have is the 2 one-ways going this way, and then they'll all converge and come back out this way. So at least it'll keep traffic moving in one direction, and at this, they're always moving left and right, and they can come through. So that's pretty good. We'll build a nice little residential zone there. I'll build the inner parts first. Electricity should be decently covered. I can always pop something like, ooh, I don't want that. Like that. And eventually we can delete these. So if I get this all the way up to here and I have something moving down these roads too, everything will be connected, right? That's the whole point of the game, to have more connectedness. That way I don't have to build this to connect everything. Now, I believe school, this is not going to be able to cover. I'll have to build a school here, which I should just put in the middle, huh? I don't have enough money to build a school right now anyway, but it doesn't matter. So this is our start to our little city. We do have an industrial zone. We have this market type zone. We'll build more of this up here. Do like a little drawing of it here. Kind of like that. It's kind of cool. Is electricity going to that? Yep. Is water? Yep. All right. So now it's saying we need more industry once again. Pop up another one of those over here. Okay. And then we need more residential, of course. That's kind of the flow of the game, right? You're going to need more residential, you're going to need more of this, you're going to need more of that, you're going to need more of this. And it keeps going like that for quite a long time. So what I'll do is I'll look straight down on this, that way I can kind of get a 90-degree cut. I'll start here near the middle and go like that. And that'll be our starting, whoa, Worthy Village, damn it. That'll be our starting kind of residential zone for this. Now that says it needs water, because it does need water. What was I thinking? And as you can see, the more industry I have and the more commercial zone I have, the more money I'm making. So I'm making $1,000 per week. And it's allowing me to do a lot more things. So I can include a fire department and a police department now. So we'll put those in this first main borough. We'll put the fire department here. And we'll put the police department right on the side. I don't think I have the upgrade. Nope. Okay, so that's that. And we're starting to get here. So what's cool is you can zoom in and actually find people, right? So you can, let me slow this down, all right? So that's actually slows and go. Let me, bam, click on this guy. Raymond Parker, but you can change him, right? So you can be like, Eager Nemo. Let me follow this guy real quick. No, come here. Hold on. Come here, buddy. All right. Eager Nemo. Enter. That's his name, right? So you're seeing where he's going. He resides at the Mulberry residence. He was a worker at the box factory, and he's going to the convenience store. You can see how happy he is. He's an uneducated adult because we don't have high school and we don't have college at this point. He grew up before probably there was a elementary school. But it's pretty cool because you can literally go down to everything. You can see this is an SUV. This is an SUV. It's owner Anna Young, so you can see where she is. It's actually really involved. So with the sports car, who's the owner? Amanda Clark's. And she is doing what right now? She works at the box factory, but she owns a Lamborghini. Don't know how that works. But she has a dog. And I can click on it. It's a dog. You know, so it's pretty cool. You can see her go home. You can see her do everything. So this game's actually really involved, and that's why it's kind of a CPU hog, really. But any decent computer these days can play it. But that's what I like about these types of games. They are super involved. So we just unlocked the set districts. For this, you can set a district. Within the districts, you can kind of make laws or regulations. So when you set a district, you can set that to, you know, maybe an industry zone or this zone or that zone. You can set different laws. Like maybe they need to have no pets, or they need to have fire whatever in their apartment, where it makes it less likely for things to burn down and all this junk, right? So it's pretty cool how you can set things. I don't know if I'll build a district here. We'll make this our industry district, right? So and we're going to get a name for it. We'll call it Industrial Parkway. Say that. And policies. I wonder if I unlocked any policies. I did. So basically the policies are different things. So there's power usage and policy. It basically causes conservation, right? So it's saying moderately reduce electricity consumption, this or that, but it costs per building 5 cents. And then there's smoke detector. That's what I was trying to say a little bit earlier. Smoke detector distribution. That way there's not going to be a lot of fires. So that's always good to have, right? So we can do that. Water usage cuts the shower time in half. Guide citizens to more sustainable water usage. So it's going to reduce water. It's going to be upkeep, things like that. So you can basically go through and do all of these and, you know, plan your city the way it is, and you can name it. So that'll stick there and say industrial park. I can make this called, you know, whatever it is. The what's my thing? You could say San Palma Square or San Palma Center. We'll name this San Palma Center. So let me do a district really quick. This, we'll do a circle and go like that. Right, and oh no. Yeah, there we go. Alright. San Palma Center. And here we can go to the policies and we can select, we do want to distribute that, we do want to have water usage, and we do want to have power usage, let's say that, right? So it's saving us money on those, but it's also costing 5 cents per building. So it's kind of a, you know, take away, give away type thing. This water. It's a little inefficient, but that'll do. So our electricity's fine, our water's fine. Now it's looking for more commercial zone. So we'll extend the commercial zone a little bit. You don't want to go crazy and build a ridiculous amount at once, because then you'll run, oh shit, you'll run into issues. Shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. You'll run into issues as you move forward. No, D-zone. There we go, and then we can rezone it. Yeah, okay. So we have San Palma Center. We have Industrial Parkway. We have, let's make a district up here just so we can keep everything neat. We'll call this, Highview Drive. No, it's not Drive, it's Highview Circle. So they're happy, and then they'll go from there. So I think this is a good spot to leave this episode off. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like videos that kind of walk through the playing of strategy games or base building or city management, whatever, go ahead and subscribe or like the video. And if you like videos like this and you do subscribe, then go ahead and hit that subscription notification button where the little bell on the bottom there, that'll tell you whenever I upload a video and you'll be the first to see it, right? Cool. So thanks for watching. Episode 2 will come out eventually. And I'll see you then. All right. Bye, guys.